So I'm the Director of Programming and Public Affairs for both our Orlando and Tampa stations, so WESH 2 CW18 and WMOR, which is an independent station. So what I do as a Programming and Public Affairs Director is the programming side of it is actually really neat because specifically in Orlando, we have news products, we have our news content, but in between we do have network programming and we also have syndicated programming. And so I'm responsible for acquiring the syndicated programming. So my objective usually is when I get shows pitched at me from studios, I evaluate and see if it fits the profile of our station. And I also see what's going on in the market, our competitors, what other stations are in the market for. And then I also see, well, what's the best product, the show, that would position our newscast and maintain viewerships and just carry the flow of programming. So the best way I can describe it is specifically for network is, you have the network programming, you tag team, relay, pass it over to local. We do our newscast, pass, relay, syndication, and then we just try to make sure that we keep our viewership. Yeah, so the public affairs side is actually the side that I don't want to say fulfills me, but just makes me feel really good. Initially out of college, I wanted to go into nonprofit, but it was a little challenging to get into. And so it's really cool that I get the business fun side of the station, but I also get our community work. So as a station, a lot of folks don't know, we are required to serve our community because we're technically monetizing off of the free airwaves. So FCC regulates us and they require us to do, like, I'm sure we know the Saturday morning cartoons, so children's programming, but also, serve our community. And we do that not just through our newscast by informing our viewers, but also boots on the ground, community events and things, and just help and support the community the best way we can. And so that's my other role, is just figuring out partnerships, figuring out what works, what aligns with our station values, and then supporting our community in that way. The cool thing about my role is that even though it's very niche and there's a lot of stations don't actually have a program director on hand, they may have a public affairs director, or their promotions creative service department does the community affairs aspect of it. The cool thing about the role itself is that the skill set that it takes to execute the role translates in anything. So like if I want to move on, or if I want to go to another career path, I don't necessarily have to switch over to another station to be a program director. I could very much pursue aviation and buy products. When we go on our flight, we watch TV, right? All of that has to be licensed, and someone makes the decisions on how they acquire it, and they actually speak to the same folks I do, Warner Brothers, Sony, ABC, NBC. And so that's another opportunity there as far as like the core of my role, which is like negotiating and just being familiar with the market and the products, the studios, the entertainment side of things, like what's out there, what's available, what works, what doesn't work. So that's the cool thing. And that's something that we also try to do too. We do want to give the viewers the illusion that like Kelly Clarkson is actually our talent. The network, Today's Show, they're actually a part of our family. So that's also, it's kind of like the trick that we also try to portray for that reason. And it's cool because you get viewer calls. You're like, I don't like what Kelly wore today. I'm like, okay, we'll give her a call and let her know. That's the other part of my job that I enjoy, is talking to viewers. With Hearst in general, and even at our station, it's very collaborative. We do believe in being in-house, because the more in-person conversations, the more creativity comes out. And it's also the bigger picture. So I would have to say that the culture is very supportive, collaborative, big thinking, bigger picture, forward, what is our industry going to look like? I'm not as involved with the journalistic side of things. I know that they have a different, I don't say culture, but they have a different objective, if you will. But for overall, each department, we all work together. Like, that's the other thing about my role, is the best way I can describe it is like I'm the roof of the house, and every department is a separate room. So what decisions are made at a programming level affects all departments. So creative services to promote it, news to execute the news, if we expand another hour of newscast, or if we eliminate it, or if we do a local special. That's them. Engineering, they have to put everything out there. And then forgetting a department, graphics, they have to do the graphics. So, and then of course our administrator, they pay the bills, and then sales. they make the money for us. So everything is like cohesive, if you will.